Drive Home, Part 3, April 10th, 2023. First video ended when I finished filling my car up with gas, because when I plugged my phone in, it ended the video. Second video didn't have much content. We talked about, stuff I talked about this morning, trip down the shore this weekend, and things like that. I think the second half of the video is just me talking to myself about what I'm probably going to make for dinner. This third one, although I'm more awake than I was this morning, I have absolutely nothing to talk about. Like, nothing is coming to mind. Like I said, I want to go home and take a nap. I'm just very, very tired. Monday after a 3-day weekend is very, very draining. It's a very stressful day at work. Every day has been stressful lately. It's but what are you gonna do? So, getting off at Valley Forge here. One of these days I'll stop into the casino. I like casinos. I like to gamble. I actually like the table games. I like blackjack and I like poker. I don't know if Valley Forge has that. I don't know if it's just slot machines or. I really should look into it. I don't gamble a lot. When the lottery gets high, I'll buy a single ticket. I used to go to Vegas all the time. We did good. Like, I think the last time we went to Vegas, I did play some slot machines. We ended up coming out a few $100s ahead. That's rare. I mean, the odds in general, I think slot machines are I think a 97% return, meaning that for every dollar you spend, you get back 97 cents. So obviously it's not a linear thing. Like, you win, you lose, you win, you lose. But in the long run, if you play on a long enough timeline, you're going to lose money because the odds just are not in your favor. The only games where you have a chance of beating the house, I've talked about this before, I believe, are any of your poker games where you're playing against other people. That requires some skill, and blackjack, and you can only come ahead of blackjack if you know all the rules, you apply them properly, and you can count cards. And they have a boot deep enough that paying cards will pay off. Problem is, they can tell very quickly if you're counting cards. So if you're using that method and you are coming out ahead, you're only giving yourself I can't remember, 1.75% advantage over the house, which again means you have to play for big money and you have to play for a long time to make money at blackjack. So, but I do like playing slot machines too, even though I know it's a losing proposition. It's fun. It's the kid in me. It's the lights and the noises and. There it is right there. Yeah, I'm not going to pull you out of the holster. Just turn into this whole thing. Little hairs from my mustache going every which way, tickling my nose. There's another vanity plate. Always late. Not spelled like that. It's ALWZ-L8. Pretty sure it means always late. I have a book on my nightstand I was talking about book recommendations before, and one I really want to reread, and I've been talking about it for a couple of years. And like I said, it's actually out on my nightstand right now. Actually, I have two books sitting on my nightstand. There's a bunch of books in my nightstand too, but they're different books. Like it's just a whole classification of books that's different, the cult and things like that. Anyway, the books that are on my nightstand that I want to reread are Necronomicon. Is it Necronomicon? It's not Necronomicon. It's close to that. It's not what you think it is. It's a book about codes and ciphers and some guys making money with that kind of stuff. It's a ridiculously thick paperback book, but it was a good read. I want to reread that because it's been a long time and I can't quite remember the story, but it was a good story. And then the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. I'd really like to get my daughter into reading those things because they were great books. I read them when I was younger, and I don't really read a lot now that I'm older. It's I always got my face in my phone or at the computer. Like I'm at a computer all day long at work, and if I'm not at my computer, I'm on my phone. Like when I'm home, I'm on my phone, or I'm in my office on my gaming computer. I always got a digital device like in front of my face. Like the only time I have to read is like kind of like when I'm going to bed. But the problem is once I'm in bed, like I fall asleep right away. So I start reading, I just like nod off. Like if I'm just going to bed, like I fall asleep in less than a minute. Like my head hits the pillow and I'm out. Like 99.9% of the time. Every once in a while, I have trouble getting to sleep because of things that are stressing me out. But even then, most of the time, even if I'm a little stressed, I have no problem falling asleep. I think it's one of the things keeping me alive is my ability to fall asleep so quickly. But anyway, I do want to reread those books, and you should read them. If you haven't read the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov, it's a really, really good series. Definitely worth reading. Get it on audiobook if you have to. Yeah, I'm wondering if I can read it. I had trouble reading a recipe the other day. Not that it was boring, I just couldn't see it. It's like, oh, this is so boring. Pancake biscuit recipe. Like there's literally 3 ingredients. 3? 2 ingredients. Well, there's more than 2 ingredients. I make pancake mix ahead of time. Flour, sugar, salt, baking soda. I don't know if there's cornstarch in it. I don't think so. Like 5. Sugar. Like a bunch of white ingredients, like sugar, salt, baking soda, flour, and something else. Anyway, that's my pancake mix that I keep in a canister. I mix that all up and I have it handy. I very rarely make pancakes with it though. I use it like Bisquick, and I make biscuits with it, which is basically like 2 cups of that mixture, 3/4 of a cup of milk, and that's it. You mix it together. If it's too dry, you add a little extra milk. If it's too wet, you add a little extra of the mix. And that makes, I break it into 8 biscuits. So like I get it till it's mixed. I don't knead it at all, but I get it well incorporated in a bowl. I used to do it by hand. That's terrible. Don't do that. Get yourself a spatula and do it that way. And then after that, I break it into 8 even portions. They just like look like not meatballs. They're like asteroids. You don't break them off neatly. You just take them off. Like I said, you don't roll it. You don't knead it, and you drop them like little meteors. 8 little meteors onto your baking dish, and you put it in the oven at like around 400 degrees. I think it's supposed to be 450, but my oven's nowhere near accurate, so you gotta go a little lighter. So for my oven, I put it in at about 400 degrees, a little under, for 8 to 10 minutes. While that's happening, I take one of my metal measuring cups. I put 2 tablespoons of butter in there and a heap of granulated garlic. I would probably say like maybe a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of garlic, depending on how much you like garlic. Obviously, adjust it to taste. And then I put that on the electric range at low, and I melt that while the biscuits are cooking. So after the biscuits are finished cooking and the butter garlic mixture is melted, I take the biscuits out of the oven, and now all those little weird little jagged points that are on there because you didn't overheat it, they get a nice brown crispiness to them, and the rest of it's just like cooked like a biscuit. You take that butter and garlic concoction, you take some kind of paintbrush. I've got a what's that stuff called? It's not plastic, it's that rubber stuff, but it's silicone. I've got a silicone brush, and you just brush it all over the 8 biscuits. Let it sit for a couple seconds, and they are delicious. They're very, very delicious. When I go home, I'll take a picture. I don't know if I can post pictures in a comment. If I can't post a picture in a comment, I'll just give you I don't have to give you the recipe. I told you before, it's the same. If you look up Alton Brown's pancake mix, it's the same thing. It's essentially the exact same thing. So just look up Alton Brown's pancake mix recipe, and that's what it is. It's like got 5 ingredients. It's like salt, baking soda, flour, sugar. There's 1 or 2 more ingredients, and I can't remember what they are. Did I say baking soda? It's baking soda and baking powder. I don't know the exact ratios, but so that's 5. It's baking soda, baking powder, sugar, flour, salt. I don't know. I can't keep track of the ingredients I said. Anyway, for no reason at all, that's how I make my biscuits. My wife loves them. Here's another handy trick. So if you like Scrapple, but you find Scrapple to be a pain in the ass to cook, which I did for years, and sometimes I still do, because it's hard to slice. It's very, very fall aparty. Like if you don't cook it right, like you can't flip it. It just becomes this sawdust and gray meat pate. Just so anyway, if you do like Scrapple. One of the tricks I learned for when you're slicing it up to put it in the pan is put it in the freezer for like about 20 minutes before you're going to slice it up to put it in the pan, and that makes it stay together much better when you're slicing it and putting it in the pan. So freeze it for 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes. You can go a little longer, but 20 minutes before you're ready to start cooking it, like throw it in the freezer so that it firms it up so it slices much nicer. Something else you can do that with, I can't remember. Is it tomatoes? I can't remember. There's something else you put in the freezer before you slice it. I can't remember what it is, but it's Scrapple's definitely one of them. So this is Royersford. This is where I would get off if I was going to go get some Kentucky Fried Chicken, or if I decided to just abandon everyone and go to Outback for dinner. Whenever you see me checking at Outback, this is the Outback right in this area that I go to. Cooking hacks. lot of the different tricks for peeling garlic. Put it in a glass bowl with a plate over top, and you shake it. You break off the individual cloves. You do that, and you get the shells off. I've tried all kinds of different things. To me, the thing that seems to work the best for me, it works the quickest, is you just take the individual cloves and you take yourself a nice chef's knife, some knife with a little bit of heft, and you just crush them a little bit, and that cracks them, and it breaks the shell, and the shell comes right off. Out of all the things I've done, I find that one works the best. Just take a knife to the individual cloves and just smush it down till you hear a crack, and that breaks. Yeah, it cracks the clove, but who cares? You're going to be chopping it up anyway. That's the easiest way I've found to get into garlic. Oh, this is like one of the best hacks I ever learned. If you have peaches at home, throw them away. They're garbage. Sorry for the long silence. As I said, I don't have much to talk about today. I've been trying to fill the air unsuccessfully. I know a lot of people can do this, but this got me out of a DUI once. So I won't explain the whole story. This was years ago. I do not drink and drive now. I will not drink and drive. But a long time ago, I did. And so my stupid human trick is I can do the alphabet backwards without really thinking about it. And to prove it, here we go. ZYXWVUT SRQP ONMLK JIHG FEDCBA. I learned that when I was a kid. The story I give people is that the alphabet was on the rear wall in elementary school, and there was a mirror. So that's how I learned it backwards. I really don't know. I don't remember. That might actually be true, but I really do not remember how I learned the alphabet backwards. But that's I know it forward as well, pretty well. But I got pulled over once, and they did some field sobriety checks that I had to do. I'm mildly dyslexic, so it's right-left dyslexia. I have a very, very difficult time to this day knowing my right from my left. There's a bunch of tricks I do, but it's still like I get them screwed up all the time. And so the field sobriety test, one of them was the alphabet backwards. I can sing it too, ZYXWVUT. It's ridiculous. But the other thing was, just the tilt your head back and touch your nose. And the guy was going to go, left hand, right hand. I'm like, I can't I can't do that. I'm going to screw up. We were on the street in front of a mattress store. So I said, you could say mattress store and street, but I can't do left and right because I have left-right dyslexia. And so we did that, and I nailed it. There was I was walking a straight line. I did that. And then, unfortunately, they gave me a breathalyzer, and I failed that miserably. I blew like a .427 or something like that, which, should probably be dead, let alone like, bizarrely appearing sober. But, back then it was a sport for me. So, anyway, the fact that I was able to do all those silly human tricks. They didn't arrest me. They parked my car in the mattress store parking lot and let me stay there till morning. They said something crazy like they legally couldn't arrest me. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if they were just hoping I would drive away. I don't know why they didn't take me in. But they didn't, and I believe it has a lot to do with the fact that I passed all the stupid human tricks. I may have told that story before. If I do, I apologize. But you got to hear it again. Lucky you! Alright, we're right up against 22 minutes. Even though I've got plenty of time on the road till I get home, I'm not going to start another one. So